and welcome to another video. Today we are in the simulator. We're playing some American Truck Simulator today, just to do some, we're going to be delivering some stuff, talking about some stuff, maybe a life update about myself, the channel, upcoming stuff, and even better is plans for the future of this channel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the sights of America. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Jam. I'm a variety streamer and a content creator here on YouTube. I do stream on Twitch and make content and stream on YouTube as well. So if you like technology and gaming content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell because I do stream on this channel 3 times a week, if not more. Here we are in American Truck Simulator. We're gonna get started with our first job. We're actually gonna we're gonna try to attempt the entire job in one video today. We're driving crude oil, or we're delivering crude oil from Rock Springs, Wyoming to Great Falls, Montana. While we talk, we're just gonna hang out, sit back and relax. We're gonna do this.
Drive safe.
All right, here we go. Let's go grab our. Where is it? Is it here? No. Oh, it's over there. I'm gonna turn on our head tracking. There you go. By the way, guys, if you want to know how I did the whole head tracking thing, make sure to check the channel. There's the last, I think, 2 weeks ago, my video that I released a couple of weeks ago was about head tracking and how to do it. So if you want to know how, you are in the right spot. I already made a video about it, and you're gonna be able to see it. You're gonna be able to see it in the channel. So if you wanna check that out, go check that out real quick, and we'll come back, or check it out after the video. All right. There you go. Let's pick up the thing.
Let's do this.
Alrighty, let's get started. Because on the day that this releases, the day after would be likely an American Truck Simulator stream, because usually I do that on Fridays, and this video usually comes out on Thursdays. So hopefully you enjoy this, and then join us for the ride live. But as for this video, though, we're just hanging out, talking about some stuff, and maybe giving you guys a proper life update about what's going on with me, because that hasn't, in the past, YouTube has always been has always taken a backseat in terms of like updates from me, because I'm more of a Twitch streamer. But recently, with reasons that I'm about to talk about now, circumstances have changed. So I've got more time to do both YouTube and Twitch content, and I'm hoping to foster a community in both, or maybe merge them together into one really, really cohesive one. So, okay, so we're on the road. We are driving a Volvo 240 VNL. Was it 240 VNL or something like that? Mostly because I use head tracking, and I do have the GPS screen on the dash. Because before I had head tracking, I didn't like to use I did not like to use what's it called? I did not like to use the mouse or the inbuilt GPS thing. So that's why when I chose to use the VNL, because of that. It's already on the dash, it's already in view. So if I'm looking straight, if I don't have head tracking on like this, I can still see the GPS without having to look at without having to look down, because in some of the other trucks the GPS screen is actually far lower. It's usually below the eye line. It's usually right below where the cat sits. Oh, oops. We'll have to shift up. So yeah, so here we are. So we have head tracking on, which by the way was a video. So if you would like to see how do I make this happen, I'm using a very cheap webcam to make it happen. Oops. Then you are welcome to check that video out. That video came out 2 weeks ago. And like I said, if you're lucky, you're going to be able to see this live on Twitch, because I do stream this usually on Fridays on the Twitch. Actually, it's multi-streamed on here. So you will see it here and on Twitch at the same time, because I stream it on both. So yes, that's what we do. And again, just enough. I think we're gonna do a little bit more of these videos, just for, I guess, as a check-in, as a way for me to talk about stuff outside of the videos that I make, like the scripted stuff. Again, it's more like I guess more of a vlog kind of thing, or more of a just talking type video. So feel free to put me on a tab and just listen. It's not, unless you want to see the views, because the game does look pretty good. But yes, so you may have noticed that this channel started to become a little more active these days. And the reason being is I've got more time in my hands now. And the reason for that is this guy got laid off. This is more known for the Twitch community, but I will explain this, I guess, now for the YouTube audience. I used to work for a software company. I used to be in the software world. I used to work with databases. I wouldn't say that I'm a software engineer per se, because your boy did not finish school, but I do know how to program, and I do know how to do database stuff, and that was my job for a little bit. So call me a software engineer, call me a software guy. I just call myself a software guy because I don't know if I really earned the term software developer or software engineer, but that's kind of what I used to do.
Go straight.
So for me, I used to have a 9 to 5, and I would stream on Twitch for a little bit, and then maybe, if I have the time to make a YouTube cut of certain streams, I would do it and put it here, or tutorial type videos that I would use to teach, right? Because I have a lot of experience with streaming because of being on Twitch for a little while, as well as working with professional streaming equipment, because in the previous job before the one that laid me off, I was actually working in the media world. So I got to play with like Blackmagic switchers, I got to play with Blackmagic cameras, really, really high-end production stuff that you could use to really make, you could use it to make movies and TV shows and news shows and stuff like that. So not the same stuff that we would use for Twitch streaming and, YouTube videos and such. But hey, so expect more of that. More videos like that will be coming. I've been doing a lot of testing with regards to stream settings and stream setups. So I'll be probably doing more. Once I'm done with all my testing, I'll probably create a video that has a lot of that in it. So if you're a streamer, that might be a video to watch out for, just because there's a lot of pretty important information in there to know on how to make sure your stream does not come across choppy or blocky or just bad outright. Little tidbits of information that I've learned throughout my 3 years of streaming on Twitch. So just kind of sharing what I've learned, because I figured why not, right? It's something that I have in my head, and the little gremlins in my head wouldn't stop me from trying to explore it. So I figured I'll make a video out of it, and people would hopefully learn from it. The other thing too, so again, more content is coming just because I got more time. So I've kind of diverted myself away from just being on Twitch and to try to be here as well. So you'll probably see me doing a lot more streams here, because I do multi-stream between here and Twitch, just because we're allowed to do that now on the Twitch thing. Plus, YouTube quality is so much better. It's so much cleaner and it's so much better audio. But the problem with that is the only caveat is on the YouTube side, music. It's pretty quiet. You can't, I can't put the music that I stream with on Twitch on YouTube because of that. It's a split mix. And if you guys want me to teach you guys how I make that happen, or how I do the multi-stream setup, how I do all of that, you are more than welcome to put a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see that, because I will gladly make it. Heck, if even if nobody wanted to know, I will make it anyways, because like I said, little gremlins in my head would not stop from making me do it, right? So yeah, I think that's kind of the big thing about what's going to happen to this channel and to me. Realistically, 2024 is not great economy-wise right now. So even if I was to find a new job, the likelihood of me being able to hold on to that job until the next year's fiscal year is, I mean, it's pretty high, but also pretty scary that, you know, when you're a new guy in a new job, right? And the company is kind of having struggles, guess what? Who's gonna get laid off first? It's usually the one that's already the new guy, right?
Exit now.
That plus the fact that a lot of the industries right now, not just tech specifically. I can speak about tech because I'm from it, but I am sure that a lot of other industries are having the same kind of problems. A lot of other industries are laying off a bunch of people because it's just very expensive to keep a bunch of people these days. And with the amount of, I'm guessing, the income is not that great. It's not there. It's not enough for them to keep people employed. So even if you were to find a new job and actively search for a new job, so looking at classifieds, Indeed, LinkedIn, pulling through all your network connections and such. And that's assuming you already have a network. If you don't have a network yet, especially if you're like a younger professional, you just got out of school, or you're just starting to find your first big girl, big boy, big person job, it's not going to be easy for you to find that, especially if you're like, you got yourself started into a new role and then suddenly get laid off. Oh, we got to stop at the way station, which is where now? But yeah, like there's also going to be
Turn right.
a massive flood of people in the industry that's trying to look for positions at the moment, because when people started laying off employees, it was a lot of companies happening at the same time, or roughly around the same time, because usually it's when the fiscal year starts. And if that's the case, then chances are you're going to be up against like way more qualified people there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's definitely, like, it's not just about qualifications and such. You have your own X factor that you can put in. But my point that I'm trying to get across here is it's not an empty market right now. The market is flooded with a bunch of highly skilled, maybe highly qualified individuals that you are going to be competing against. So I think my point from that, I mean, I kind of went in a awkward direction for it, but my point from that is you're going to see me more doing this for now, and allow me, so it gives me time to at least explore this side of myself, because it is definitely something that you forget. when you start doing when you become like a professional and a professional, whatever it is, you tend to focus more on just trying to keep building yourself and such, and which is great. The issue with that sometimes is literally just having time to be yourself. You forget about being you. You lose your identity in a sense. So, like, I guess as an example, right? When I started streaming, it was at the beginning of the pandemic because everybody was bored, and a bunch of people started streaming during that time too. So it's not just me. And with that,
Never mind.
when I first started, I primarily did Call of Duty and Call of Duty and like music stuff. And the music stream was there for the sole reason to force myself to keep practicing. You may notice music equipment behind me. And it's because of that. For me, it was an active effort to try to bring back my own kind of like identity and my own kind of creativity that I may have lost during the time that I was working in the office all the time and just trying to get my career up and running. So, and if it wasn't for streaming, I probably would probably still be, very much depressed and tired all the time because of just work is all you do. Yes, you could find time to try and be active and do other stuff, and I'm sure other people are perfectly capable of doing that as well. But it's just not conducive, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's a lot easier, or it's a lot harder, sorry, to do that. There's an accident, so we're gonna have to just pass that. But yeah, so I think to me, streaming became more of a healthy outlet to create stuff that I don't think I will never really do on a normal basis. Like, who would have thought that, if I wasn't a streamer, if I wasn't a streamer, then I wouldn't be creating videos and stuff like that for people to enjoy, or making music. Because for people who are not aware, and probably on this community, probably not, because not a lot of people really watch my Twitch stuff from the YouTube side. I make music. I learned how to produce music in 2023 as an effort to get myself back into being musical and learning music theory. So again, it's one of those things that I would never have explored if I wasn't a streamer. I explored it because I met a bunch of other streamers who are in the same boat, and who are producers as well, and I picked their brains. I could go to their chat and ask them, or directly message them on like Teams. I was gonna say Teams, Discord, and whatnot. It's definitely something that opened a lot of doors for me creatively. So it's definitely great. So I guess going back to why you're seeing a lot more of me. And after the layoff, I decided to try and focus on this more. So that's why this channel is getting 2 or 3 live streams a week, sometimes more, which is usually multi-streamed with YouTube, and the chats are usually synchronized, so they're kind of relayed to each other. So which means people who are chatting in the YouTube stream will see the chat messages in Twitch and backwards, so they can in theory talk to each other. The only difference is the Twitch version of the stream usually would be lower resolution, but it has music. As opposed to as opposed to YouTube, where there is no music, but you do get 1440p resolution, better quality audio, higher bit rate. It looks good. It looks better. It looks a lot sleek. It looks a lot sharper. So I guess it's kind of one or the other, right? That plus there are ads on Twitch as opposed to YouTube. There is no ads there for now because we're not a partner yet. And that's the other thing. We're trying to get to at least the level 1 or the early level, the lower level version of YouTube partner to at least generate revenue here as well, because as much as it's cool to always create content and do what you love and whatnot, you still have to pay for bills and put food on the table, right? So I'm gonna have to figure out ways to generate revenue on the channel, and not just the channel, but in general, like with all the content that I make, because I do tend to make a lot of content different ways in different places all at the same time. So it's not just like all Twitch all the time. I do stuff for YouTube, as you may know, because you're watching me on YouTube right now. But there's also like music that I make. And by the way, the music that I make, and I will say this here for the record. My music, for as long as I'm releasing it myself, meaning for as long as I'm producing it and self-releasing it myself, that music would always be stream friendly or YouTube video friendly. So you're gonna be able to use it for your streams if you stream it on like Spotify or whatever, and you start streaming with it. You won't have issues with like copyrights and stuff like that. And this is where I'm gonna get at is, eventually, within the next couple weeks or so, there will be a Patreon site that will go live from me, and a lot of that is as a patron on the Patreon site. You will get access to videos that I make that cannot be on YouTube, basically because of copyright reasons. Sometimes I do make DJ sets. I make DJ sets, really, with music on it. Obviously, that's not allowed to be on YouTube. It will be there. That way, you have access to all of that. Basically, extra content that is not capable to be posted on YouTube will be on that Patreon site, as well as downloads for extended mixes of my music. That way, if you want to use it for a YouTube video for yourself as a background audio, or you want to use it for your DJ set. If you're a DJ and you want to use it for your own sets, you are also welcome to, as long as if you're a patron, you're going to get it in there. But the upshot is, again, if you use it, you won't get flagged anywhere, because I intentionally removed my music away from Content ID. So regardless of how you use the audio, you will never get flagged, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And I've made about 6 songs so far. All of them are already out on streaming platforms, so you're going to be able to use them for stream audio right now. If the Patreon does go live, when the Patreon does go live, you're gonna see downloads for it through there. I initially thought of giving it through the Discord, but the Discord, I don't exactly have a fairly active Discord, and it's not because of the community's fault. It's more of a me problem. I don't know how to manage a Discord that well, and I also feel bad asking people to do it for me, because it's not like I'm paying them to do anything, and it still feels very wrong. Even to this day, actually streaming on Twitch for over a few years, I feel bad asking mods to do certain things. And mind you, I don't choose. I don't like force it up. Oops. I don't force it upon the mods to be on my streams either. Like a lot of the mods that I have tend to become mods because they offer to help, and genuinely, I accept their help, and they kind of just do that. The difference is, hold on, let's make this turn. And yeah, the thing about this is, okay. And the thing is, I don't, like I said, I don't force them to be on my streams. Whenever they're there, I acknowledge them, and I don't even sometimes bother asking them to do things because I really, really feel bad asking them to do something when I'm not even paying them. And I mean, I wish I have the ability to pay them, genuinely. But the thing is, I do have to make decisions with regards to myself and figuring out how to pay myself, because being totally real here, it's not cheap to live anymore. Like, surviving costs a lot of money, and you don't make enough to really be, you don't make enough, period. I think that's the thing. It's very difficult to survive in the current world just because there's so many. We can bypass the base station. Heck yeah. Just because there's so many things that you have to pay for now. It's easy to say that, hey, you can just do work or whatever, but a lot of places in the world you can't even survive on a single income anymore. So if you think about it, like how, right? I don't even know where I'm going with this. I initially started this video to just talk about what's going on with me, but now it's starting to become kind of just a whatever kind of conversation, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't know. You should let me know in the comments below in terms of what you guys want to see about these types of things. It's just because I'm trying a different format is all. And this is something that I figured might be cool. It's more of a conversation. And I get it. It's not a live stream. You can't like respond to chat or anything. But what we could do, if there are comments on this particular video when it does come out, and we can probably address it for the next one. And I think that's kind of what we're going to try to do, to put a little bit of a different spin on like talking head videos, is we'll do it while we're driving. Because why not, right? It's already cool to see that how it's already like very relaxing to drive, and I don't know if that is for you, but it is very much for me. I used to always go, and again, this is when I used to have a job and when I used to be able to afford a lot of gas money. I used to drive to clear my head. I used to call it mental health drives instead of mental health walks. I would call it mental health drives. It's because I would use it as a way to rest and reset my mind with all the stresses of just being alive, really. I know that sounds a little dark, but it kind of is where I was at, and still am in some times. Like being totally real with you guys, that's something that is a struggle that I'm willing to talk about, and because I know I'm not the only one that's struggling with stuff. struggling with life, struggling with being alive in general, where everything you do, you have to open your wallet, where everything you do is not enough, when everything you do is never to the standard of what society asks you to be. It's just hard. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I do know I'm not the only one. It's something that is definitely needs to be talked about more. I'm very open about it on my streams, and that's the reason why a lot of the people that do come back, we end up talking about these things, and we share our stories about how, realistically, how the hell we survived on this earth for this long. It's difficult to talk about these things, but I do feel like we need to try to make it easier for us to talk about these things. Because who do we know? Like, I don't even know who to blame anymore. I don't know what we should do. And again, you can put politics in this. I'd rather not, because for one, I don't know enough about it, and number two, I'm too busy trying to survive to even keep up with what's going on in the rest of the world, or in the politics of anything. If anything, I'm not jealous per se, but I find it really cool that there are people who are able to do that, who are still doing really well with their lives and still able to keep up with everything else and trying to survive at the same time. And for those people, hell yeah. More power to you. I'm happy that you're doing great. But I do think that we do have to also acknowledge the fact that there are people who are not doing great. Growing up in the I grew up in Asia, for people who are not aware, and during those times and era, mental health was never a thing. When you're depressed, you're just sad. When you have ADD, you're just overactive or hyperactive. It's never been something that was really talked about. And now that I'm in my 30s, it's easier for me to just talk about it now, because realistically, I don't really have a lot of things to lose anymore. Like, if there were friends to lose, I've already lost them. If there are friends to keep, they're still here. So, I don't know. What am I trying to get at with this particular line of thought? Nothing. It's more about just talking about what's going on with me, and I hope it does resonate. I hope it resonates with some people as well. That it's never a great time. It's easy to think that it's always a good time, but it's not always a good time. So if there's somebody in your life that you think needs to be acknowledged, you really should. It does. I just realized how sad this all became. But I do think it's important that we need to talk about it. I am very happy with my life, by the way. I'm not saying that I'm not happy. I'm very happy. I'm content. But it is difficult. You could also be in that state of mind where you could be in both spots. And a lot of it for me, we're doing it right now. Driving allows me to just forget, a lot of times there are people who are like that, and if you are one of those people, nice to meet you. If you're one of those people, you're probably here, because I do think that a lot of us kind of with the same kind of mind tend to gravitate to each other. So, like, I guess, so in my scenario, right, I would do, oops, this was back, my typical day-to-day back when I had work was more like, oh, my guy's getting tired, so we're gonna have to find a rest stop. My typical day-to-day back in when I used to have a job was, you work your Monday to Friday, and when I did, usually on the Thursday of the week or the Friday even, after work, I would always want to go and take the car out with myself, my partner, our dog, and I'll just go somewhere. Like, I would drive it. I would even, like, my girlfriend already understands when I say let's go on a drive or something. She already knows that I want to go, and where. Oh, oops. All that she asks me is which direction are we going to, and I'll just pick a random direction. Are we driving east? Are we driving west, north, south? We can't do a lot of south. We can't drive south too much because that's basically America. For people who don't know, I'm in Canada, in BC, in Vancouver. So if I drive too south, we're gonna hit the USA, and I don't plan to cross borders. But that's neither here or there. Point is, it's.
Please make a U-turn.
I don't know if anybody else has the same kind of feeling as me.
Never mind. I'll find.
But I find that. Just being on the road allows me to really just all the noises. There's too many things happening, right? Like being somebody in their 30s, or even like the younger generation, the 20s and the teens of this year of 2024. There's so many things being fed to you. I know, ironically, this is a YouTube video being fed to you probably, but it's definitely something that, there's so many things going on out there. Videos being shoved down your throat, advertisements, work, everything. And when I'm on the road, and I know there's people who have the same feeling as me, because I've spoken to a bunch of those through my streams. When you're on the road, everything goes quiet. Everything is silent. You're in your head with very clean, there's nothing else going on in your head, and it allows you to just be alone. Because that's not something that a lot of us have a luxury to do in our day-to-day. I don't know if there's people. I just realized, we're kind of late in the video at this point, because I don't really plan to edit this much at all. If that, I'll probably cut the start, cut the end, and then maybe do like a little teaser thing at the beginning, and nothing else, because that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this video is to be candid and direct. Well, as direct as I can really do. And then, after this video's release, there's probably gonna be something else that's more scripted and more structured. And if you want something like that, then stick around and watch that one instead. I do think that there has to be. Oh shoot! There really has to be a time to do something like this, where we can just talk and kind of interact. And maybe once the Twitch channel, once the YouTube streams get a bit more, a bit more traction, then maybe I'll stream solely on Twitch and we'll talk then. and I'll stream solely on YouTube, and we'll talk then. That way, it's an interactive conversation, but at the same time, YouTube streaming is kind of garbage in terms of interaction. If you have, thousands of viewers like your Pokemains and your Dr. Disrespects and Tim the Tatman and those type of people, their chat will be moving regardless. And regardless of how slow the latency of the chat response is, it's going to be slow because the streamer genuinely can't keep up with the speed. If you're someone like myself who's like, I'm kind of a small-ish size streamer. Well, I'm actually a very small size streamer anyways. Chat interaction is the meat and potatoes of what you do. And if your chat interaction is slow, the vibe of the conversation usually falls apart. And if that's the case, then you're gonna end up either losing the conversation along completely, or that viewer who put the message in had already left because they probably dropped a message and then like, oh, the streamer is not answering me or ignoring me, and then they just dip. So that's why I haven't been doing streams solely on YouTube for now, just because it's a little difficult to keep up or to have like a really engaging conversation with somebody when the chat is like 3 seconds lagging. And yeah, I don't know. We're almost there. So, I should really shift up, shouldn't I? Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, if you're still here during this time, I appreciate you. I'm sure a lot of people have already clicked out by the time you get to this part of the video, and I guess I can be I can talk about. I can talk more about just what's going on, right? It's difficult. I'm happy that I still, my girlfriend, my partner, my better half is still with me and is supporting me with this whole thing. And at the moment, she's the only one that has a job between us. Thankfully, a lot of the stuff that I already own stuff here. So I'm not like paying debts or anything like that. So that's cool, I guess. But I do think that I genuinely want to see where this is gonna go. So whether or not I do more of these videos going forward, like this vlog style trucking type videos, or not, I hope you join me for the ride. Whether or not it's here or on Twitch, I would like to genuinely invite you to follow me there or here and see what happens. And if something good does happen, then you're on the ground floor of something like that. If it falls apart, then hey, we tried. We tried and we failed. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also something to be said about just doing it, And I also do want to say, sincerely, I do work really hard, or try to work really hard to earn your follow, to earn your respect. I don't necessarily would say, the call to actions are one thing, because that's how you play the YouTube thing, but I do try to put a lot of effort into showing that I do try, and to showing that I really care about what I do here. and to show that I'm passionate about what's going on. And I hope that kind of comes out through the screen. I'm not sure, but if it does, great. It's difficult to, obviously get the discoverability on this platform is obviously kind of garbage. We know that. On any platform, really, like not just YouTube. Twitch is worse. Actually, Twitch is way worse than YouTube. But I think it's good to say it for everybody. TikTok, Instagram. TikTok for a time used to be that. It used to be really good. But now it's all flooded with scammers and just video farm, like, content farm that, just recycle videos from wherever and then, yeah. Oh, there's an accident. That's why. Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, I thought you were going to let me through. Why did you move? Yeah, I guess if you're still here and you want me to do more of these types of stuff, let me know. This is definitely longer videos than I normally would make. So based on some attention span, based on the attention span of people, most people have probably clicked off from here. But hey, I will give it a shot. Like I said, it's a new format that I'm trying, and if people actually do enjoy it, then great. Then I'll do more. I don't even know where we are anymore. We were just driving this entire time. Are we in Montana now? I don't know. But the timer says we're almost there. We're about 52 minutes in-game time to get to the destination. And I think that's probably like a few minutes IRL. So we're almost there. The video is probably almost over at this point. Which reminds me, I'll probably make a video as well with the mods that I use for American Truck Simulator, because there is also a sea of mods that are available right now. And by mods, I'm not talking about cars. I'm talking about, or trucks, excuse me. I'm talking about just visual mods, like the basics that most American Truck Simulator players should have to have the most optimum experience to play American Truck. We're about 30 kilometers to the
Turn left.
we're about 30 kilometers to the destination here. Stop signs at the very top of an off-ramp. I know it's for safety, but God, it sucks if you're driving stick. waiting for me? Thank you. That's cool. That Ford had right of way though, for sure. I'm assuming we're already in Montana because we're almost there. And oh, we're driving to an airport. I never realized our destination was an airport.
Keep right.
Because about on my overlay here, we're looking at about 16 kilometers to the destination, and there's an airport to our right. Or left, sorry. Montana. Oh, shoot. Are we close to the Canadian border?
Keep right.
Globalian Cargo is the name of that airplane. Are we delivering to FedEx?
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. It was a nice ride.
Here we go. If you made it all the way here, make sure to hit that like button and also drop a heart emoji in the comments so I know you made it here. And I think with that, I'll see you all next week. Same channel. Take care of yourselves, and as usual, everything's gonna be okay, and you're never alone.